Friends, I forgot to hit this thing. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to hell! There we go. That's better. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Fuck Around and Find Out Friday. I've been fucking around all day. Now you're gonna find out what happened. I've been effing around with 2-inch and 1.6-inch. You were just watching 1.6-inch. And so I'm going to call this day 6. Day 6 of figuring out what's better. 1.6... No. Day 6 of Fart Bag Hippopotamus. Of DJI O4 R&D. All right, so this is what you were just watching is 1.6, and it's 20 grams lighter. I cannot believe how much lighter. It's plugged in right now. The files are transferring off of it, but I can't believe how much lighter the Mob7 V3 build is versus this Mob 8 build. It is running BT 3.0, which is saving a little bit of weight, but other than that, there's nothing else that's like drastically different between the two other than frame, motors, and props, obviously, right? Hey, before I forget, I've got a shitload of M1.4 by 5 screws. These all finally showed up today. I ordered these forever ago. M1.2 by 12 and M1.2 by 14. which is quite exciting. Because I've been waiting on these for a while. I got a bunch to make sure that they were all the exact right sizes, and then they were. And they sold out really quick on my Etsy store, and then I ordered more. And they come from the other side of the world, so they've taken a while to get here. I'm going to play for you all the flight footage that I got today. I wanted to get a little bit more flight footage from the 2-inch rig, but you've seen a bunch of it already. I charged 2 batteries for it. The 420 mAh battery and the 850. I really wanted to put the 850 mAh 2S battery on this to see how long of a runtime I could get. But it doesn't even come close to fitting in the battery bay. So I think the biggest battery that you can run on this Module 8 frame is like a 550. But I mean, a 2S 550, that's a big old battery. I actually don't have any of those. I'm going to have to order one of those. I wonder, any of you Module 8 guys, are there any 650s? Have you ever been able to fit a 650 battery in here? That would be even better. I would love to have, I would love to have a setup for this that would run like damn near 10 minutes. For reasons that we'll discuss. So yeah, those of you that have been on the 2-inch Tiny Whoop train for a while, what are the biggest batteries that you know of that that'll fit in this damn thing? All right, so that is still copying. Let me pull the memory card out of here. Sorry for the late start. I just lost track of time, and then the computer was not cooperating. And there we go. Basically, right at 7 o'clock, I started to do the things that I usually do at like 6:30, 6:40. In the chat, Douglas 6 was first, Spaceman Spiff, Frank Nicholas, Crom, Frosty, Ciotic, Matthew, Uriel, Chaser, Mac, Nitrous Chimp, Chuck P, Raging Leet, Douglas 6 again, Uriel, Mac again, Flagadelic, Yin Yang, Flyborg, Uriel, Sloppy K, RAF, Fluoxethine. What's the deal with that as a YouTube name? RC Thrills. I think I got everybody. What's up, people? If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. Wait till you guys see the dog. Oh boy, homeboy got all matted up, and they had to shave him down, and he looks like a rat. He looks just... I love him a lot less. That's how bad he looks. It might be mean, but you know it's true. Wait till you see him. You're not gonna believe. He looks like sick. He looks like he got sick. And like he might pull through. All right, so the DVR flight footage is off. Look at the size difference between these two, man. Look at this. Stop wobbling in my fingers. Hold it like this. Look at the size difference. Good lord. It's not as obvious as you'd think. It's pretty obvious when you fly them back to back. This thing hauls ass. This is plenty quick. The maneuverability of this is just outrageous. Like ducking in and out of the bushes. Oh my god. It's so noticeable. But they're both really good. I also did a bunch of... I flew a bunch of different propellers on this yesterday. I tried the... I don't think we talked about this last stream. I tried the Gemfan Hurricane 2008 biblades, They're just not enough. I have the tri-blades on the way, but yeah, these 2008 bi-blades are not a great match. Maybe if I were to find a lighter frame and run a smaller motor, maybe these props would shine. But on this big old 1103, these 2015s, and actually I think I prefer these 2023s. I want to make these 2015s work because I want, like, for a rig that's this big and this heavy, I want the thing to slide around. And so I really want to make these 2015s work. I believe I'm all the way up at 100% motor limiting at this point. You know, and at that point, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I love these 2015s. But we'll see. We'll see. I gotta fly this some more. The batteries that I definitely like on this are the Flywoo 2S 420s, though. They're nice and light, but they're not too light. And so, yeah. I'm really impressed by both of these. I'm like super, super, super impressed. I think I'm leaning towards this one, but we'll talk about it more tonight. We'll watch some flight footage. I'm actually going to fly today. The past couple of live streams, I've had #6 batteries in the title, but then I've gotten kind of carried away and forgotten to fly. So I am going to fly here today for sure. I'm going to try my best. If you want to support me so that I can keep doing this, head on over to CiottiFPV.com. I'm going to call this 2 and pull that in there. There's lots of different ways that you can support me. Patreon definitely helps me out the most, and you get the most benefits. Full access to the Discord channel, YouTube playlist that's not public with all kinds of not public stuff on it. On the Patreon channel, there's a whole bunch of tech articles that you can get to up on the tags. Click like Tech Talk and click Edits. There's a bunch of Patreon specific edits. The edit that I put up on Tuesday, there's a 4x3 version of it for patrons, which is kind of cool. There's extra field of view top and bottom. It's neat to see an edit in that 4x3 ratio. We're so used to 16:9. Etsy has some fun stuff that you can buy. The M1.4x5 screws I put back in stock. I need to make a new listing for the M1.2x14 and 12. And I have a bunch of other new listings coming, so keep your eye on the Etsy. Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with You can work one-on-one with me. This is how you learn the most, the quickest. Teespring's got some fun shirts and other random apparel. And then lots of affiliate links. Yo, change your bookmarks to affiliate links. Amazon, Get FPV, PyroDrone, Race Day Quads, Newbie Drone, WeBleed, BetaFPV. By the way, the PyroDrone affiliate link, if you've never set up an account over there, that's all it is. It's not, they don't have an actual affiliate program. But if you click through here and then you set up an account over on PyroDrone, your email address and your address, right, so that you can order and have it track your orders, it gives me some Pyro bucks. So if you've never ordered from PyroDrone or if you've never set up an account over there, a super easy way to support me is to click through here and then just make a quick, click the create account and drop your info, put a password, bang. Race Day Quads, Newbie Drone, WeBleed FPV, BetaFPV, FPV Cycle, Hizingi, Omagod, Brain 3D, HD0, Flywoo, Emacs, Banggood, Camera Butter, and AliExpress. That's how you support me. I greatly appreciate it. Uriel tag. If you want to talk to me in the chat, type CiottiFPV. Uriel says, nice drive. IBN sim just looked a lot. I think Uriel might have watched one of my Gran Turismo 7 PSVR streams, which are super fun. I've been doing those a little bit more lately. Uriel says, during last stream, I cut my lip and have a black hole in mind. Floppy K says, thoughts on new Mob7 O4 frame. It's fine. It's actually really good. It's stiff as hell. There's a chance it's too stiff, but it's been durable so far. I mean, I haven't hammered it too bad. I don't really like this prop size, to be completely honest. Like, the frame is great, and it's the only 45mm prop frame that you can put a 2S battery in. So if you're looking to do that, this is the only option. And again, it's a really good frame. I don't like these 45mm props. The Gem Fan props are out of balance, and then these HQ ultralights are just a little bit fragile. They break at the hub, and so yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna use this again. I might, but I really prefer the Mob7 V3 frame. And then you can run the Gemfan 1610 biblades, which are unbelievably well balanced and unbelievably durable. This is and lighter. This is a significantly lighter setup than this. And so yeah, this is kind of my jam. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with this new Mobula 7.5, let's call it, frame. If you're into the 45mm prop thing, and you want to do 2S, this is the only way. So do it. It is good. Okay, this DVR is off of here. Let's get this going. Okay. Come on. Come on! There it is. All right, we're good. Eject. And we're all set. Cronut says CiottiFPV for Prez. Gtonian says, I just posted in Discord. I think the Tiny Whoop 300 mAh 2S are from Tattu. Cells look the same and balance leads are the same gauge as the BT 3.0 leads on the Tiny Whoops. Very cool. Little known fact is that I mean, a well-known fact is that there are only a couple of actual battery manufacturers, and then they just white label most of the batteries. Tattu, actually, Gen's Ace is one of the main ones. And from what I understand, most of the batteries in FPV are made by Gen's Ace. Their FPV battery brand or whatever is Tattu. So like when in doubt, if you're trying to figure out who a battery is made by, it's almost always made by Gen's Ace, which is interesting because they make great batteries. That's a good thing. Gtonian says super easy conversion from the PH 2.0 ones. Did you put a picture of that? Oh, look at that. Very cool. How are you doing the conversion? Are you converting over to BT 3.0? Is it, can you just use, I'm convinced, but I haven't done it yet. But I've checked with a voltmeter. I'm convinced that to convert any 2S battery over to BT 3.0, you can just do it with the balance lead. Because when I took voltage readings from the outside pins of the balance lead, it gave me full 2S voltage. And that's what the two main pins are on BT 3.0. Or is there some weirdness and you have to use the battery leads for the outside pins and then the middle balance lead for the middle pin? Do you know, Gtonian? Tag me in the chat and let me know. Is there gook all over this? Oh, this is from where they put those stupid battery protectors on them. All right, there's a little bit less gook on there now. Matthew Wegner says the green GNB 552S fit well. The Flywoo Explore 750s do not. I don't have many 2S batteries to try past that. GNB 552S. Very cool. GNB 2S 550. I definitely want to get my hands on a 2S 550 to try. I don't see any green ones. I see red and yellow. Is green one of the older ones? Ah, the light green. I see. I see. Okay. Good to know. Thank you, dude. I'll bet you they have measurements on the batteries. I bet you I could just measure. Yeah. Fufu Panda says, what DJI goggles are you running for O4? I am borrowing a set of goggles 2. Jernzen says, finally got the 2S 75mm O4 drone. Now to tune it. Don't tune it. Just run it stock and see how it is. Probably going to be really good. Steve Sims says, Tattu 650 fits. Hell yeah. Tattoo, he says. Tattu 2S 650. Awesome. I'm going to leave this tab opened. Oh my god, 4 of them from... What? 4 of them from eBay for $33? That's really cheap. Let me guess. They're shipping from the other side of the... No! They're shipping from California. Oh my god. That's a really good deal, isn't it? What does one of them cost? Oh, okay, no. I'm used to batteries that are $15, $20, $25. Each one is $9. So that's about... No, I guess that's still a pretty good deal. I don't want 4 of them, though. Oh, wait, no, that's a $450. Oh, yeah, no, $840. Okay, that's fine. I will not buy 4. Good to know. Thank you, friends. Oh, I thought I was sharing my screen. Sorry! Christopher Blackledge says, I cut the top part of my Mobula 8 tray and I use Hey Velcro strap to keep it... What the fuck is Hey Velcro strap? Oh, a Velcro strap. Got it. To keep the battery in it, I use 450 mAh and they wouldn't fit. And is why I cut the tray thing. Interesting. Cut the top part of the tray. So you cut up here. And then you're just running... Oh, yeah, you can run a battery strap through the sides. That's interesting. I'm not going to do that, but that's interesting. I always like to have the battery like really tucked up as tight as possible on Tiny Whoops. One of the reasons why Tiny Whoops fly the way they do is that like everything is pulled to the center, right? Like the camera is dead center. The battery is like pulled up really high. Plus, it just makes battery changes like so quick and easy. I love it. Talha says, is there a particular order in which I customize settings? Throttle expo, drone tune, stick sensitivity, etc. That's actually a really good question. Not really. Whatever order. I mean, do your rates first. So yeah, go into the rates tab. Dial your rates in first. And then you might as well do Throttle Expo while you're in there. And then do the PIDs tab. But technically it doesn't matter. Aqua Sakura with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, hi Ciotti, what motor's on a Walksnail build? It depends on what kind of a Walksnail build. Is this like a 5-inch Walksnail build? Is it a 1.2-inch Walksnail build? Is it a 3-inch? And I'm going to need to know more than that, actually. What motors to run is typically like a 15 or 20 minute conversation when I do a Fiverr one-on-one session with somebody. It depends on the all-up weight. It depends on what kind of flying you're looking to do. Freestyle versus cinematic versus long range versus bando bashing. It depends on what propellers you're going to run. It depends on what runtime you're looking for, how much power you're looking for. Some people want lots of power. Some people don't really need lots of power. That's a fairly big sort of conversation. So if you can tag me again and give me as much of that info there as possible, I'll be able to get somewhat close to a suggestion. But yeah, that's motors make the build, and so the right set of motors is one of the most, if not the most important things to having a build that flies good. And so, and there are just so many different ways to go. So, yeah, that's a tough thing to kind of dive into on a live stream because, again, usually it takes me 15 to 20 minutes to figure it out when we're kind of face to face. And I'm like hitting you with a question, getting your answer, asking you about to clarify your answer. Great. Ask you another question, you know, bouncing back and forth like that. To try to do that through chat is damn near impossible. But if you can give me a bunch of the answers to the questions that I just asked you, I'll at least be able to get you somewhat close. Steve Sims says voltage is not current. Correct. Voltage, current is amps. I don't know what that's in reference to. Dave S says, I think the question is, will the balance lead have too much voltage drop to use for a power feed? That's why I'm asking Cheatonian, because I think he's done it. The balance leads have much smaller gauge wire, but I have a feeling it's still enough. It's not like 30 gauge wire. I think it's like 24. Yeah, 24. And I'm wondering if that's enough. When I look at the reason why I think it's enough is that the BT 3.0 batteries, I believe they use that same gauge of wire. Yeah, they don't actually have it stamped on them. But boy, do they look to be the same gauge of wire. They look like they're 24 gauge. Oh, that one, nope. Yeah, see, I checked these, and none of them have the actual specific wire gauge, but it looks like it's exactly the same. This is super overkill on these 2S batteries. These these battery leads are ridiculous. They're like 18 gauge wire. It's overkill. Cheatonian says yes and yes. The only concern is lead wire gauge. Yeah, you've done it though, right? Have you noticed any weirdness? Florida Engineer says I converted 2 batteries. The middle pin is the middle balance wire. Cell 2. Yep. Cheatonian says the only reason to use the battery leads would be for the higher gauge wires. Oh, that's what Steve Sims was referring to. Voltage is not current. Yep. Dronzen says I built it. The 2S 75mm. The AIO isn't tuned. All sliders are centered. Yeah, it's perfect. That's how you want to fly it first. Always fly it with the sliders centered. Most builds will fly really, really good that way, especially if you've managed to nail the motor prop all up weight combo. So always fly it with the sliders centered, and then if there are problems, then you can start pushing them forward. But never ever just start pushing the sliders, because if there's a problem, it could blow up pretty quickly with the sliders more aggressive. And you might not need it. Flying it with the sliders down the center, if it flies perfectly, you're done. You're good to go. Enjoy flying it. If it's, yeah, you want to tune for a purpose. You don't want to just tune for the sake of tuning. Aqua Sakura says 75mm 1S as light as possible, light freestyle, longer runtime is priority over power. 75mm 1S is tough. The power to weight ratio is not going to be really great. But my favorite, I think my favorite motors for that setup are 802 27,000 kV, the iGao motors from Tiny Whoop, which I think are back in stock, maybe? I think I might have seen them go back in stock recently. Yep. These are the ones you want. And they are in stock. Yeah, these are my favorite ones. This is about as good as it gets for a 75mm 1S. Fluoxethine says, will you review Liftoff XRdrone? Probably not. I don't really do simulators much anymore. What is the XRdrone thing? I haven't heard about that. Liftoff XRdrone Quest VR game? Is this a VR liftoff game? The fuck would they do that for? What's the point of that? We don't fly FPV in VR. What? This is super confusing. Oh my god, is it line of sight? Oh my god, it's line of sight. Why would you... What? Why would you do this? Oh, well, that's interesting. He put a balloon up there and now he's popping the balloon. Oh, wow. We've come full circle, man. We've come full fucking circle. Why would you not just do it for real? Oh, that is confusing. Yeah, I don't have a PC, so I won't be able to use this. I won't be able to try this, but I wouldn't try it anyway. Wow, that's so weird. I mean, you can go buy a line of sight drone for like $20. This probably costs more than that. It certainly costs more than that because you need to get the VR goggles. That's so weird. Yeah, I will not be checking that out. What is that? Why? What is that for? Who is that for? Why do that in VR? Why not do that in real life? The VR thing is interesting. There are so many. So like now that I've had PSVR 2 for a while, Gran Turismo 7 is just, any racing game is, in my opinion, the perfect implementation of VR. I've not found many other VR games that aren't just total gimmicks. Like, there's no reason for them to be VR. It's just kind of like a money grab. I get it. Like, the three-dimensionality is super cool, but like, there are so many things that VR doesn't do well. And it's like, yeah, it's interesting. But I guess that's always been one of the main roadblocks of VR, right? It's like, it's a pain in the ass. It's expensive. It's not perfect. There's latency issues. There's headache issues. There's all these problems with it. But there are certain things that it's beautiful for, like racing sims, like flying sims. But yeah, it's interesting. It's super interesting to see all of the games that they like force into VR for that make sort of like no sense. And to me, that's one of them. That's insane. I don't know why anybody would fly line of sight in VR rather than spending $20 at Target for a simple little, like the Hazingi stuff, or like there's tons of it. There are tons of little line of sight drones that you can get, and then you can live in the three-dimensional world and just do it in your actual living room instead of in someone else's room. I'm very confused by that. But if somebody in chat has a real reason as to why they would fly line of sight in VR rather than just doing it in real life, please let me know, because I'm very curious. Crom says the Tattu 300 mAh used the same AWG for PH2 and balance. That makes sense. What did I do with mine? Yeah. A bunch of these do. The Emax 350 also does. The Talon 300 also does. Yeah. They all use the same wire gauge. Yeah, you're right. Good call. Levster says, hey dude, nice to see ya. You as well, my friend. Flyborg says, what's your thoughts on a 75mm frame with 1003 14,000 kV motors on a 2S04 Whoop? The 1003s are going to be way too much motor for a 75mm frame. You only need 1002s or 1102s. Any bigger than that is wasted weight for no real benefit. These RC and Power 1002s blast. At the beginning of the live stream, I played a bunch of flight footage from this. I'm actually going to kick it on now for you to check out. Yeah, you don't need any more. I mean, I'm going to try this build on 1102s, but like I don't think I really need more than these 1002s. But the BetaFPV 1102s are super interesting, and every once in a while I kind of dig them over the 1002s. But this is really good the way this is. The weight that this thing is at is phenomenal. So this build is the BetaFPV 12 amp AIO Mob7 V3 frame, RC and Power 1002 18 or 19,000 kV motors. I can't remember which ones. I have a motor limited down to 85%. Gem fan 1610 propellers. DJI 03 with the Mob7 O4 canopy, ORT micro V antenna. And it just flies amazing. It's set up props in. You just saw that dive. It dives absolutely straight down. That's me crashing into the bush. All right, here we go again. Yeah, I'm so happy with this thing. It flies exactly the way that it did when it had Walksnail, but the VTX has not blown up yet, so it's 1,000 times better than Walksnail already. Also, it's better image quality than Walksnail, and a lot more options, right? 4K, 1080. 60 frames, 100 frames, 50 frames, 30 frames, with the right canopy, not this canopy, but with the right canopy, you can do rock steady and gyro flow. This is a massive, massive, massive improvement over the Walksnail Lite. So yeah, this is pretty amazing, and I think it only gained 1 gram over the Walksnail Lite. Maybe less than that, because this canopy is lighter weight than the other canopy that I was running. So here it is, just kind of carving through the trees. The sun had dropped a little bit, and it's a little dark in here. Man, I think I need to bring the darkness down in the goggles a little bit more. I'm struggling to get out. Also, don't pay attention to this. To these run times. It is heinously cold out here in Atlanta, Georgia, and so these batteries are really struggling. These are the little 300 mAh 2S BT 3.0 batteries from Tiny Whoop. So yeah, but I'm still getting like 2.5 minutes of runtime. I'm also like going full throttle to like go up into the friggin' stratosphere here and whatnot, which is usually not what you do with Tiny Whoops. But man, this is I was blown away by this thing. This flies so good. The 2-inch rig flies fantastic too. But yeah, it had been a while since I flew this with Walksnail Lite, and I forgot how it's just like the weight that this thing is at. I put it on Discord the other day, but I forget what it is. Is it like... It doesn't weigh much. Is it 32 grams? Is it 36? Dry weight is 33.8. So call it 34 grams dry. It just, I don't know. It just has this incredible feel. It's got this really nice, like, floaty, lightweight, like, balanced. It's not like charging around too fast. Like, it feels controlled. It makes this, like, in front of your house, back behind your house area feel a lot bigger than it actually is, which is really kind of magic. On the bigger 45mm props, and on the 2-inch props, it's still really, really good. Don't get me wrong, but it just makes this area feel smaller, and it makes diving into these tiny little gaps in between the bushes more difficult. It is faster though. So for like right now, just like flying down the middle of the street, the 2-inch rig is king for sure. But boy, am I digging this this 1.6 inch build. So I'm gonna let the rest of this play. Every time you see me land like this, I'm either moving the PIDs around, or on that previous battery, I went from 80% motor limiting up to 90%. It started to get a little angry at 90%. That's too much KV. And then I dropped it down to 85. I might end up dropping it back down to 80, but this is it at 85. That was that time I landed. I was dialing in the throttle expo. This is me failing. So this is now with the throttle expo properly dialed in, which you'll see why in I mean, you'll see the example of that in a second. Just dropping super low into the little gutter here, and just having like buttery smooth throttle control with that throttle expo midpoint set properly. Yeah, so you can see, like, you'll see in a minute, like this rig, it cruises a little bit slower, which I like. You might not like that if you're gonna fly really, really, really big, but I really dig that slightly slower cruise. So that's the 1.6 inch prop rig. Here comes the 2-inch prop rig, and you should be able to tell the difference. It's flying them, it's pretty obvious. Hopefully that kind of comes through. So again, like ripping up and down the street, this is the way to go. This 2-inch rig is absolutely amazing. This is with a 2S 420 mAh Flywoo battery. But in here, you're going to see me struggle a little bit more. See that like kind of awkwardness? It's just, it's 20 grams heavier, which is a lot. It's like, I think it's like 40% heavier, maybe like 35% heavier. But right now, for this kind of stuff, it's better. It's got more power. It's going to push against the wind a little bit better. So for flying big like this, which is really not what you should be doing with a tiny whoop, but if you're going to want to, you know, incorporate flying like this into the tiny whoop that you build, really thinking about it. Really think about a 2-inch setup. See, all right, here's a perfect example. Look at this dive. Look how quickly it drops. Ready? Off the throttle. Look at it pick up speed. See how fast it just like bombs down? Check out the difference. I did that exact same dive with the 1.6 inch rig, and there's a massive difference in the float. Here you go. Ready? So here comes the 1.6 off the throttle. Well, nope, hold on. I did the dive up over the house at some point. The house dive is, I think it's in the next battery. All right, let's see if I can find, here we go, there we go, here we go. Look at the difference in float, ready? This is what I really like about the 1.6. It's so much, even though it's smaller, it's so much lighter. Ready? Watch this float, ready? Off the throttle, all the way off the throttle. Look how much longer, like, yes, I was spinning because I didn't set the dive up properly, but can you see the difference in the speed coming down? This is 0 throttle. Still 0 throttle, right? Versus the 2-inch rig, which comes down like a sack of hammers. Some people like that. Some people like when they, and I am, admittedly, I'm a little bit lower here. But look at it pick up speed. See that? It really, that extra weight really pulls it into the earth. So if that's what you're looking for, yeah, 2-inch rig. If you want more float, the 1.6 is sort of more optimized. Now, with the 1.6 inch build, I've spent a good amount of time trying different motors, different props, different frames to get it as light as possible. I haven't really done that yet with the 2-inch rig. There aren't as many parts available, so it's going to be harder to do that, but I am going to try some different motors, and there is one other frame to try. So maybe I'll be able to make this 2-inch rig float a little bit more, but at the moment, the current setup, which Florence is on the other side of this window doing art things, so of course I had to mess with her. Yeah, this current setup for the 2-inch rig that you're watching right now, which is Mob7 O4. Yeah, Mob7 O4 build. Moved over to a Mob 8 frame with the whole powertrain from the Mob 8, which is the Happy Model 1103 11,000 kV motors, and I've got 2015 Gemfan props on it. Yeah, it's heavy. It's the ratio of weight to prop size is heavier than the ratio of weight to prop size on the 1.6 inch build. And so that leads you with a rig that drops faster. It doesn't float quite as much, but it covers ground horizontally faster. Namely because it's got more power, but also because it is heavy. The heavier a rig is, the more thrust has to be pushed downwards to keep it up in the air. So as soon as you nose it in, there's more thrust that gets spilled rearwards. So with a heavier rig, you always end up building a drivetrain that makes more power, and that will allow it to go faster. So as the weight goes up, the speed actually goes up a little bit as well. And that's what hopefully you can see in this flight footage here from the 2-inch rig. Let me let the rest of this play. This is me. That was me dialing in the throttle expo. And now I'm trying again, and it made it a little bit better. You still see me bobbling around to try to shoot these really tight gaps, but getting the throttle expo dialed in, it did make it a little bit easier to do some sort of gardening in here, let's call it. But you can see there, that's a great example. You can see the weight. See the weight right up here. Ready? So turn, and it just continues to slide, and that extra weight makes it slide back and bump into the wall there. The lighter rigs won't do that. They have less weight and they have less slide, and so they just carve. You turn, it turns with you. So yeah, different flight experience for sure between these two. Both fly awesome, but bigger speed, faster dives, let's say, and the potential for more runtime. But I don't know, man. If I were to put a 450 mAh2 battery on this, 2S battery on this, it would get really good runtime. When you go up in prop size, sometimes you get more runtime, but not always, especially with... Here's a toilet thought for you the other day. I realized this when I was sitting on the toilet yesterday. With a tiny whoop or with any ducted rig, as it increases in size, the duct also has to increase in size. And that adds a lot of weight. A non-ducted rig, when they get bigger... I don't have one. Here we go. So, on a non-ducted rig, when they get bigger, when you go to a bigger propeller, all you do is add a little bit more carbon fiber here. You got to put a bigger motor on it, but you just add a little bit of carbon fiber here. You don't have a big guard that has to get bigger. And so with an open prop rig, there is a huge advantage. When you go to a bigger propeller, it barely gets any heavier, and there's a massive advantage in efficiency. But with anything ducted or guarded, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be nearly as big of a deal. Yes, you can carry a bigger battery, but then you got to carry the extra weight of that bigger battery for the whole time. So I don't necessarily think that this 2-inch build is going to get that much more runtime out of a bigger battery. I'm certainly not seeing that when I'm flying these two. This little thing on a 300 mAh2S is getting 2.5 to 3 minutes, even in the balls ass cold. This guy on a 420 mAh battery is getting pretty much the same sort of runtime. If I go up to a 450 mAh battery, which is really heavy, this thing gets up over 3 minutes of runtime pretty regularly. What's sort of unfair is that the smaller the MAH, the harder of a time it's going to have in the cold. So once we have a warmer day, I think that that runtime difference will sort of even out here. But yeah, if you're just looking for runtime, it's not go 2-inch for sure. The reason to go 2-inch is if you want to go faster. That is the reason to do the 2-inch rig, or to push against the wind better. Since it's bigger, since it's heavier, since it has more power, it will naturally fight the wind better. That is the reason to go 2-inch. For around the garden, or for something that you can fly inside the house, this is it. Or like in a warehouse. This is going to be... Don't fly this in your house. You will break everything, and like you won't even be able to fly it. It just bounces from wall to wall to wall to wall to wall. In a big-ass warehouse, yeah, maybe. But this thing in a warehouse is going to just own. This is going to feel like a 65mm rig inside your house if you fly this in a warehouse. This will be the warehouse king right here. This 2-inch. This is an outdoor. This is an outdoor tiny whoop. It's a really compelling outdoor tiny whoop with O4 on it, because you can take this into the city and blast all around and get some really, really cool flight footage, and you're still flying a stupid little kid's toy. So if a cop pulls up and is like, "What are you doing?" You bring it back, you land on your transmitter, the cop laughs at you and goes, "Do whatever you want, man. That's obviously your 14-year-old's little toy that you're just out, waiting for him to get done with their guitar lessons, and you're just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are not going to get any shit from anyone for flying this silly little thing." I think the same can be said for 3-inch open prop rigs. I don't really think anybody's going to give you hell, but they are so much louder. And if you slam somebody in the head with one of those, like, it's not going to be a good day for you. If you bang one of those into a car windshield, it's probably going to break it. No. You can hit somebody full stank with this, and like, it's probably just going to be them laughing. So, this is what a time to be alive. Let me get caught back up on chat. I'm a little behind here. While I'm doing that, let me pull up some of the in-goggle flight footage. So this is going to be 2 batteries in a row on the 1.6-inch prop rig, and then the last battery is going to be on the 2-inch. And so now you're going to have some. Now you'll have some OSD to look at, so you can see like the amp draw, you can see the run times, you can see the battery sag in the bottom left, that kind of stuff. Again, these first 2 batteries with the 2S300s, these batteries are struggling in the cold. The 420 mAh battery is doing a lot better because of the cold. Fair warning. Where was I at in chat here? Talha says, how much does the wire gauge affect power? Can it still fly? It can definitely still fly. Too small of a wire gauge. The wires at like full power, they might get a little bit hot. That heat is wasted electricity. You're only going to deal with that at full throttle. So it's going to be very, very, very minimal. But it's still not a great idea to have too low of a wire gauge. But it's not something that really happens all that often that we really have to deal with. Usually they grossly overspec the wire gauge. Talha also says, I bought a bunch of PH 2.0 GNB 350 mAh 2S batteries to convert to BT 3.0. Very cool. You'll dig them. You'll be totally fine. Cheatonian says, no issues seen after conversion using those. Very cool. Get myself out of the bush. There we go. So there, yeah, look. I'm going into the menu to bump the. So right now that was at 80% throttle limiting. These are 1002 18,000 kV motors. This is now be going all the way up to 90%, which is too much. I would not recommend you do that. Crom says, after a bunch of testing, I landed on my favorite combo for 1S75 O4, which are the 703. 27,000 kV motors. I really like those motors. The problem I had with those motors is that they're only a 1mm motor shaft. And so, yeah, for me, like those motors would only last a few batteries for how hard and often I crash. But that is an awesome motor, that 703. Aqua Secura says, how do you mount a Walksnail VTX to the Whoop? You put rubber grommets on the corners of the Walksnail VTX, and then you use these M1.2 by 12 or even better 14 M1.2 by 14 screws down through the double stack. If you search my channel here on YouTube for Walksnail 2S, I've got a ton of live streams where I show it and have like the build. But it's basically, it's the exact same way that you do it with O4, which is that you just run grommets on the AIO, stack the VTX on top, and then run the big long screw down through both. There you go. There you can see it. Cool. Good question. YouTube just did the thing and scrolled me to the bottom, scrolling back up. Uriel says, I'm 53. I've been always flying on site. Uriel says, elderly MF. Steve Sims says, I ate some Brandon's beans, noticed bad constipation like Uriel gets, and I thought, how does Mr. Steele audio out? X-lax or what? Uriel says, you're calling me an old fart. No, I'm not. I mean, you are, but I'm not calling you it. Cheetonian says, try Moss in VR. It uses the tech interestingly. Yeah, Moss was the very first game that I got for VR, and it was super fun for like an hour, and then I've not played it since. Like, it's super interesting, super interesting, but like just kind of unnecessary. It's so beautiful though, and like the three-dimensionality of it is so cool. But like as a game, right, there's no need for the VR. You could totally have that game in do everything, just move the camera with the controller thumbstick, right? But yeah, what a pretty what a pretty game. Uriel says, 4 years ago, I learnt with a T for some reason to fly a 5-inch on line of sight. Nice, made me better. Yeah, line of sight is really good to know, but like, you know, we can do it in real life. Uriel says, I don't know. Danzilla says, hello. Curtis Hayes says 45 millimeters is 1 point. Thank you for doing that conversion. 45 millimeters is 1.77 inches. So when you say 1.6 inch in a Mobula 7, why not use 45 millimeter props? I'm not good props. What? On a normal 75 millimeter frame, the 45 millimeter props won't fit. I feel like I'm misunderstanding the question though. Neoflow says, I have a rattle in my 802 for my 75 millimeter air build, but it flies fine. How can I fix this, please? You probably can't. I mean, if it really bothers you that much, you can take the motors apart and try to figure out what's rattling. But I wouldn't recommend it. If it still flies fine, just fly it. Denzel the Terrible says, I remember hearing to match your power leads to the same size as what comes on your battery, therefore no bottleneck. Yep, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. But the problem with that is that, like I said earlier, a lot of times the batteries are hugely over-spec'd on the battery leads. So sometimes in doing so, you're wasting a little bit of weight. Ciotti says, have you tried the O4 Pro yet? I have not. I'd like to make an O4 cinematic quad, but I don't know if any are actually up to the task at the moment. The O4 Pro is interesting. The main issue with it for me is going to be that when I'm flying cinematic, I want to be in 30 frames a second. These HD systems in 30 frames a second, the latency is absolutely ridiculous. And so the O4 Pro is awful expensive. And then, like, if you're going to get proper cinematic footage, it's going to be tough to fly. You could absolutely argue... Oh, nope. So those are the 1.6-inch prop flights. Here's the 2-inch rig. You could absolutely argue that if you're flying cinematic, latency doesn't matter. And you wouldn't necessarily be wrong until, like, your cinematic flying requires you to, like, go through the window of a McLaren or something like that. And then the latency absolutely does matter. So, like, if your idea of cinematic flying is, like, 399 feet up, just cruising straight forward, yeah, the latency don't matter whatsoever. If your idea of cinematic flying involves, like, shooting gaps and being a little bit more active, not necessarily flying freestyle, but, like, yeah, shooting gaps and actually moving the sticks around, then the O4 Pro is going to be a little rough because you're going to have to go into 60 frames a second. And we don't always want 60 frame per second footage. If it's a really bright day and you don't have your ND filters on you, that's going to be really rough because you're going to lose every single frame in between filming in 60 frames. So the O4 Pro is super interesting. I'm really looking forward to building it into a Cinesplore and seeing how lightweight of a 3-inch Cinesplore I can really build. But it's been on the back burner because these O4 light systems are just super cool, and the RC drift car place is reopening really soon, and I'm just dying to chase those guys in 120 frames a second with better than Walksnail image quality. So. But yeah, I've got an O4 Pro sitting on the ground next to a pile of Cinesplore that is going to get built within the next couple weeks, so I'll be able to talk more about it. Metalderson says, tell you what, when I get the gig that requires me to fly around McLaren, then I'll start worrying about that. Fair enough. What I can say is that O4 Pro for hardcore freestyle is quite the conundrum, because in order to have something with a low enough latency for, like, proper freestyle flying, you're going to be shooting 100 frames a second, and then that's not going to look great for freestyle footage. That's going to be, like, super flip. You're going to lose a lot of frames in between. So it's going to be very jumpy freestyle footage. You're probably going to have to drop down to 60 frames a second, and then it's going to be significantly more. You're going to have significantly more latency that way. So yeah, freestyle with an external GoPro is never going to go away, because if you want freestyle footage that looks properly cinematic in 30 frames a second with really nice motion blur, you're going to have to run a separate FPV system, and then a separate HD camera, in my opinion. You could maybe argue that you could run it like analog and then put the O4 Pro on there as, like, the HD camera, but, like, why the hell would you do that? And then you got to figure out, you got to, like, they're going to stomp all over each other. It's just, yeah, that's, nobody's going to do that. So yeah, it's super interesting, you know, if you just want to fly freestyle and you want the footage to be decent and you don't care about having, like, cinematic looking freestyle footage, O4 Pro for sure. I mean, like, absolute easy game on that one. It's all enclosed. You're going to save a shitload of weight and money. That is an easy decision to make. But there's something really cool about hard freestyle flying at 30 frames a second, ND filtered down, loads of motion blur, right? And so I will not, I mean, I couldn't afford to do this anyway, but like, I will absolutely not be taking all of the freestyle rigs and putting O4 Pros into them. Like, that's just no way. I don't know if I will do any O4 Pros in freestyle rigs. A 3-inch for sure. There will be a 3-inch or 3.5-inch, probably 3-inch rig with an O4 Pro on board. That is a really cool setup. But anything bigger than that, I don't think so. I think bigger than that, I'll just keep carrying around Session 5s until I don't have any left. It really bothers me to take 100 frame per second footage and slow it down to 30 or 60 frames. You lose all these frames in between, and it looks very like choppy to me, and I just don't like it. But that's just me. Islander FPV says, let's say GemFan releases a new durable, well-balanced 45mm prop. Would that make the Mob7 80mm frame a viable option for a mix of gap shooting and fast outdoor flight? Sort of. I mean, I guess one of the nice things is going to be that there's less wind. So first and foremost, we don't know if this frame is actually durable or not. I have not crashed this enough to be able to like say, yes, this is super durable. But if you look at the profile of this frame, there's a lot less wind resistance here down below than the Mob7 V3, right? These little guys here, the way that this splits, that makes it really strong, but it also blocks a bunch of the thrust. And so, and these props are a little bit bigger, but keep in mind that you're gaining weight here. So it's all about what weight you want to be at. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this Mob7 V3 build. It boogies down the street. It rips through the garden. It's like a known quantity. So Mob7 V3 with BetaFPV 1102s is 18.6 grams. And then the Mobula setup with the same motors is 21.8 grams. So you're adding roughly 3 extra grams to get the slightly bigger props. For me, I tend to like build as light and small as possible. And then if I can't get enough runtime or power, then I take a step up. But yeah, I'm building smaller first and seeing if you can make that work. You got something that's lighter, that's quieter, probably more propeller options, more motor options, right? Like regular old 75mm rigs, there will always be, we've been developing motors and frames and stuff for these for a lot longer than the new 45mm thing. And so, yeah, that's a great question without like an easy answer, right? Like the 45mm props, they're not better. They're just different, you know, a little bit bigger. So potentially a little bit more efficiency. But there are downsides to it getting a little bit bigger. McConnell Studios is in the chat. This motherfucker sent me a big old box of stuff. Thank you so much, dude. Whole bunch of propellers that I gotta go through. See what's on in here. But then look at this, yo. I got no excuses now. And there's a couple of unopened rolls. Dude, thank you so much. This is gonna be rad. This will allow me to, and there's a bunch more props in here. This will allow me to print a whole bunch of different colors of like batwing mounts and just like other stuff. And so my Etsy store will have a bunch of different color options for. So I have 4 unopened reels of my personal favorite color, which is the Sane Smart Violet. It's like the dark purple. And I was planning on making a bunch of batwings and other stuff with that one color, but now I can do a bunch of other colors. So yeah, that'll be super fun. Thank you so much, brother. Super, super, super generous. If you guys are not following McConnell Studios on Instagram, you are missing out. He does some of the coolest art installations I've ever seen. It's just wild, and I'm always, yeah, like, it's just so cool. Look him up. Look him up on Instagram right now, McConnell Studios. It's just the coolest stuff ever. And he's always doing something. Lately he's been doing, like, I know he's done this in the past, but like some really big shit that, like, it's funny. I never thought about like with sculptures, right? Like a big sculpture, a big art installation. You look at it and you're like, damn, dude, like that's a lot of work. You know what's also a lot of work that I'm realizing? Shipping it. Because you gotta build a fucking thing to protect it. So like you gotta build this thing, and then you gotta build like some kind of a frame for the damn thing so that you can try to get it to where it needs to go without it exploding. And so it's like, it must be like, I would be like super frustrated, like spending all this time on like designing this beautiful art installation, and it's like, oh, I'm done. Oh, thank God. Now you gotta build an engineer something else to like ship it. So yeah, that's something that I realized. Like, he posted a picture not too long ago of like building a big wooden frame around it to put this thing on like I think it was like putting it on a semi-trailer, and I was just like, oh fuck, I didn't even think about that. Like, what a pain in the ass that must be. So yeah, check McConnell Studios out on Instagram. Really, really, really cool stuff. Curtis Hayes says, I missed the start of your stream. Is this the early release of the Mob7 O4, or did you take Mob7 V3? So no, this is my Walksnail 2S build that we spent all that time developing, that kept eating Walksnail Light VTXs. I've now run out of Walksnail Light VTXs, and so this build was just sitting. And so I picked up a second 04 Lite and just dropped it in, and it's just awesome. So it's the Mob7 V3 frame, the little BT 3.0 in the little rear spot. So cool. RC and power 1002 18,000s, motor limited down to 80%. The 12 amp BetaFPV AIO that I really like. And then the 04 and the Micro V. McConnell Studio says, cheers. Thanks again, dude. Super, super, super cool. Thrash FPV says, I got a open prop whoop frame. Should I run 802 or 702 for a 1S open prop? It's a custom frame and about 65 millimeters inside. I want a park ripper. 802s for more power and more weight. 702s for less weight, slightly less power. There's not like an easy answer to that. It's just the bigger motor has the potential to make more power, although that does kind of depend on kV. The 702s we can get all the way up to 40,000 kV. The highest kV 802 is 33,000, and so that could be a little bit of a limiting factor there. but the 802s are they'll also stay a little bit cooler, right? It's a little bit of a wider motor. So yeah, 702 is pretty kind of specific for flying inside the house. For anything outside the house, I would start to lean towards an 802, and then just get that 30,000 kV Imoptura or Ipomo from Tiny Whoop. Meccano Studio says make stuff. I shall. Dave S says a fun TPU print is a robotic hand by Open Bionics. That's pretty cool. There is so much cool 3D printing stuff. I am so terrified that I'm gonna stop flying FPV and just start 3D printing stuff. Meccano Studio says when time allows, check your Instagram messages. VW Bug Car Kit. What does that mean? Volkswagen Bug Car Kit. I hope you're okay with. Oh my god! What? Oh shit! You're doing what James May did on Oh dude, that's so fucking cool. Yeah, James May did this on his show Toy Stories, which is just the coolest shit ever. Yo, that is rad. Oh, wait, you're... Oh, I see what you're doing. You're building a frame... No, you're doing what he did. Yeah. James May Toy... Yeah. It was the Spitfire. Toy Stories Spitfire. Here, look at this. He did a... I forget what they call this over there, but he did a life-size, like the models that you cut the pieces out. There's a name for it. But yeah, dude, that's so cool with a Volkswagen Bug. Yeah, there it is again. And then he also did it with car stuff. Airfix, that's it. Airfix. Yeah. Hammond did it, or maybe James did it for Hammond, but Hammond has a bunch of car stuff that's set up like this. Inside of the smallest cog. I wonder if I can find... It's up in the... Yep. You can just barely see it up in the rafters there. So he's got it here. I think James might have made it for him. But that's what's going on here. It's the same kind of deal. It's that pop... I don't know what it's called. But yeah, a set of wheels. I think this might be a Caterham. What's that called? Where they're on that thing. Oh, there it is. Look at that. There it is. Oh, it's a Mini. Yeah. Yeah, it's a Mini Cooper. The hood, the grill, the wing. I guess these are the front fenders. There's a set of Watanabe wheels. Yeah. I think he might have gotten this idea from James, but it's the railing. He did that as the railing. Is that not the coolest thing ever? There's the valve cover, shifter with linkage, it looks like. Isn't that rad? Them Brits, man, they know what's up. That is awesome, man. Very, very cool. A pop-out VW Beetle parts. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. For my old sculpture professor, that exactly. Very cool. What is that called? What is it called when you have it so that you can chop it out like that? All right. I went a little bit out of order in chat here. Let me make sure I'm sort of caught up. Airfix model. No, I think I'm good. If I missed your chat comment, tag me again. It's all good. So yeah, we talked about 2-inch, 1.6 inch. I don't know what else I really have to say about it. Let's fly a couple batteries. Let's fly a few Batteries. We're gonna go. We're gonna fly the Wandering Whoop a little bit here, which is basically like a Mobula 6 2024 with a frame swap and a motor swap, swapped up to 32,000 kV motors. Fly a couple 260 mAh batteries. Here we go. This is with the FXT camera. This is going to Quad 6.6 next. I just got to get some good flight footage with it. Pop out model parts? That's it. Yeah, pop out model. Sprues! That's it. Denzilla Terrible got it. Sprues. Sprues is the word. Yeah. They're called sprues. Of course, James, I remember that from James's show. It's calling them sprues is the most James May thing ever. Do I not have a memory card in here? Why? Here we go, friends. Couple of batteries with the Wandering Whoop. I gave you a memory card. Be okay with the memory card that I just gave you. What? What are these goggles doing? Why are these goggles being so unruly? Right, hang on. Come on, HD0 goggles. Be good. Why do you not like this memory card? Hold on. Let me format the memory card. Storage. Format. Formatting. Okay. Oh my god, why you take so long to format? There we go. Format was successful. Click to exit. I'm clicking, you're not exiting. I guess I have to power cycle the goggles. Man, these goggles are good, but ooh, they can be buggy. They are some buggy bastards sometimes. Come on back to me. Come on, goggles. Boot up and record, please. They've booted. They refuse to record, though. Oh, nope, there they go. There they go. Awesome. Wandering Whoop. Oh, the lack of latency is just delicious. Oh! 65mm whoops. I'm trying to show you guys the dog. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, homeboy got a bad haircut. Look at those skinny little legs. Oh, Teddy, I'm so sorry. Oh, man, the sweater makes him look a little bit better, but boy. Oh, boy. He looks like a little rat. Look at him. Oh, he looks so sad. Poor little guy. Ah! Where am I? Don't be unrecoverable. No. Yes! Alright, let's do some flying. Ah, I tried to get it in there. That's what she said. Hey! No, don't go back there! Don't do it! No! No. I'm not gonna be able to get it out of there. Ugh. Huzzah! Alright. We're recording some DVR. Ooh, let me turn off the, Curtis Hayes, yeah, mine do that too. They just, magically decide. What is it about analog goggles just, like, deciding on their own that they're gonna just tell you that they're recording, but then not recording? I thought it was just a Fat Shark thing. It most certainly is not, though. Clean OSD. Just get warmed up a little bit here. Ah! Tried to do a cool little rotation in there. Oh, farts. Again, these are 260 mAh batteries. My God, it's just a scalpel, man. Absolute scalpel, these. I mean, this is basically an ultimate freestyle tiny whoop. Not really. I mean, this is more of a Mobula 6 2024 with a motor swap, but I mean, the Mobula 6 2024 is pretty damn similar to the ultimate freestyle setup. I hit myself. What's happening? There it goes. It was acting a little weird there for a second. That was confusing. Okay. So, let's get the live stream a little bit bigger on the monitor. That'll be a cool thing. So yeah, I need to send some flight footage of me blopping this thing around. So I hope that the DVR is going to actually work. Let's do another 260 mAh battery, and let me see if I can do some actual flying here. Some flying that's not buffoonery. It's a lot to ask, I know. All right. Wandering whoop. Not a good start. Okay. Oh, God. I've been flying too much 2S. Boy, this is a hell of an adjustment. Oh, God. Hold on. Whoa, hey, yep, hey, yo. Oh, really? You're gonna do me like that? I just still need to back the tune off on this a little bit. It's a bit much. Oh my God, what in the world? Come on now. Come on now, don't do that to me. Don't be like that! Ah! Maybe I'm just having one of them days where I can't fly worth a shit. Also known as every day. Oh no, I gotta back this tune off a little bit. It's trilling a little bit. It's being a little bit unruly. Let's just do that. Let's just take the edge off. The way that these things stop in midair is just so delightful. Oh, we are on fire! Make sure I say that I'm on fire so that I become not on fire anymore. Ah! I was doing so well! That was a good little rip, though. Oh my God! Oh! Oh no, why? All I wanted to do was go into the gate and then out the side of it. Are you fucking kidding me? Why is this happening? Work! There we go. Oh my God, you dirty whore. Sorry, sorry for anybody with kids in the room. That was a bit much. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Oh, that would have been gnarly. Oh, no. Oh, that pretty hot looking. No, I was hoping for a... Hey! Runtime on these little 260 mAh batteries. Almost 3 minutes blasting around the entire time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Alright. Let's keep going. What's up, Rays? Another 260. Let's stay in it. Alright. Wandering whoop. No! Why am I having such a hard time with that? Flip-flop the bing-bong gap. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Bing bong sing along. Wandering whoop. No! Fuck it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Get out of there. Get out. Get. Don't. Oh my god. Why do you do this? Yes. Oh no, I just hit it. Oh my goodness. I just hit myself in the leg. Oh! Oh no. Well, I had like 14 seconds where I was flying decent, and now I'm flying like a buffoon again. To be expected, I guess. Try this again. Wandering whoop! Oh! Oh no. Oh no. Yeah! Ah! Cut it too tight. It's worth it to keep trying that corkscrew down the stairs, because my god, when I hit it without any corrections, it's just the sickest looking thing ever. Oh, I got screwed. Hey! No! These props are starting to get beat up. Oh my god. I went in between those two hanging flip-flops. Oh my goodness. Can't even turtle mode over right. Huzzah. Go under. Get down. Get settled. Nope. Nope. Oh! That would have been ridiculous. Oh! Alright, don't fuck up. Instantly. Instantly. Instantaneous fuckery. Ooh, whoa. Why would you try that? You know you're not going to hit that move. You know it. What the hell? Oh, it's behind the... Well... Oh! We got it out. No! Oh my god, why am I having such a hard time with this goddamn move? Oh, I can't even do the Ciotti flip. Oh, I can't do anything tonight. Oh, wow. Brutal. Some nights you got it. Some nights you don't. Oh my god, really? Now I'm just getting frustrated. Yikes. Wow, 3.5 minutes. Good lord. Yeah, Bing Bong Sing Along is from Community. Bing Bong Sing Along. You like Al Gore because your views are wrong. Troy says that. Alright. Which one of these is one of these props getting more banged up than the others? That one's clean. That one's nice. That one's nice. Oh, that's weird. The left rear. The left rear is kind of rough. Huh. That's pretty rare. Usually it's the fronts. Okay. A little bit more. I can't do anything. Ooh, buddy. Oh. Oh, yeah. No! Instant fail. Why can't I drop down into that fucking cube? Oh my god, I hit it every goddamn time. Oh, you fart bag bastard! Oh. Why would I think that I could do that? Oh my god, I didn't see it until it was the last second. I don't know why I ran that line, though. That was a line that there was no chance of actually hitting. Got it. Well, I got one of the things. I didn't get the thing that I keep missing. Let's try it again. Nope. Nope. Every time. The hole in the gate is 7,000 times bigger than the sides of the gate. And yet, every single time, I hit the sides of the gate. Wow! Oh. Boy. Now all of a sudden I can do it. Uh-oh. Oh, that chair ate my face! Whoa! Tried to do the behind the TV run, but I did a... Oh god, no. Oh god, no. A terrible version of it. Oh! Oh god, I backed it into the TV. Oh! What you know? Why would I do that? I did, like... Way too often, I'm just like, oh, it'll be fine. Maybe it'll just... Oh, don't you dare. Oh, no! These 260 mAh batteries are running forever. Like 5,000 minutes? Jesus, 3 minutes and 7? What in the Sam Hill? Did you guys hear that duck? That's an alarm on my phone to not be mean to myself. 300 mAh battery, last battery of the live stream. Thanks for hanging, friends. See you guys again on Sunday. Banged up props, you just spin the propeller up in turtle mode, and if it's vibrating really hard, it's either the motor or the prop. Now we're talking. Great. Can't use that. Trying to get like a little run. Oh, I didn't go through the goddamn thing. No, you jerk. Ugh! Why me? Yep. Nope. It's like every time I do something difficult. Hold on. I'm just like, oh, I can do all the difficult things. Shut up and fly. This is the run. No! Oh! Ah! Hey! No! What? Arts. Well. No. Oh my god. Stop it. Shut up and fly. No! No! You idiot, you. You blew it. One of the problems is that, like, everything that I like doing is really difficult. Like, there's nothing easy that I enjoy doing. And so, I can't... Oh, god damn it, Teddy! Props are gonna have to come off. This is insane. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Oh god. All right. I think I got that mainly out of there. Alright. Another, like, 30 seconds before this battery's done. Oh! No! Oh! No. No. And that's that. Huzzah! 3 minutes and 40. Man, Happy Model motors are just so efficient. Goose Fraba. Skull says, show us your racing sim rig. It's over there. Remind me next time, and I will. Thanks for hanging, friends. All right, this is good to go. We all set. I'll see you guys on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Be good, friends. Here's some more of the 1.6-inch rig. Ripping around the front yard. Love you, bye!